So Gorillaz has always been a virtual band that I personally have been fascinated by, but over time, of course, as I get into their catalog, not a lot of their material lives up to the classics that were Demon Days and Plastic Beach. Or at least in today's video, we'll be going over a 2018 record of theirs that has a more moody type of feel, like kind of going through the motions. Specifically, I'm talking about the Now Now that came out in 2018. Now, this was the follow-up to their overwhelming guest and lack of production choices, Humans, in 2017. But I think this record over here, the Now Now, is a vulnerable and emotional footing to get Damon Albarn back on his feet, and for 2D to heal after enduring the amount of years of abuse from Murdoch, or at least as far as the lore goes. Now, this cycle of this album would be a bit more like The Fall back in 2011, but with like a more complete structure, as Damon kind of recorded this during the Human tour within a month. Luckily, this album is not as guest heavy as Humans. It features very few guests, such as Snoop Dogg, Jamie Principle, and George Benson. Now, the production on here is way more stripped back, just bringing us into like what is it like in the world of 2D. And it has 2D pretty much singing most of the time. And I think that this album is where Damon is like at his most vulnerable. Prize themes such as isolation, exhaustion, and a desire for feeling calm more than just it being temporary. And like I mentioned earlier, this is probably, for at least for 2D, probably the years of abuse he's had to endure from Murdoch since, like, you know, Demon Days. Now, the first two tracks kicks off the record with the high notes. I love Humility. It's surprisingly joyful with a twist of synth pop and George Benson's guitar playing. And lyrically, 2D is expressing breaking through, isolation, and hitting the reset button. Trance shifts the sound of the record almost a bit too much. It kind of feels out of place on the record for me, and it has like this trance adjacent and futuristic sound to it. Hints at self-destruction and emptiness behind the need to protect one's identity. Hollywood is laced with electropop and bubbly synths. It delves into like the seduction allure of fame. Now, the rest of the album dips in quality for sure, but it keeps a steady pace throughout the rest of the record, with tracks such as Idaho, Kansas, and the closer Soak Eye keep that pace as well. So did I enjoy this album? Yes, but not as much as I did on Demon Days. But I do think, like I mentioned earlier in the intro, that this was an emotional footing for Damon Albarn to get back on his feet, for 2D to heal as well. Which is why I'm feeling a light B on this album. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts on the Now Now. I'll be doing more videos like this, so please stay tuned. And I'm gonna see y'all later.